What is going on, everybody? This is your man, Big B and Hanley. Welcome back to Steelers Almighty. I am back from vacation, ready to talk Steelers football. I'm excited. Training camp is right around the corner, people. Football is not officially back, but it's almost back. We're getting there. We're getting there. So I appreciate everybody showing up, man. Thank you guys for tuning in. We got a good show for you today. First things first, we're going to talk about these Steelers throwback uniforms, man. Lord have mercy. Look, I'll let the cat out of the bag. I think they are absolutely hideous. That's number one. So, we'll just start from there. Next up, we'll talk about Aaron Rodgers on what he needs to do this season with the Steelers. He just needs to play football. That's it. We just need him to play football. So we'll break that down a little bit for you. And then last but not least, 5 players that I am personally watching closely in training camp of Pittsburgh Steelers this year. There are 5 players that we'll break those down and let you know exactly who and what we are. So I appreciate everybody being in here as always. We got our members showing up. Mr. Tom, thank you for showing up today, Tom. Appreciate it. Steelers Australia, thank you for joining, man. I appreciate it. Thanks for showing up, my man, and joining the live with us. Like I said, we got a lot, Gus. Again, you guys, as the members start filling in, as everybody starts filling in, if you want to help support the channel, you know exactly how to do that. Super chats are wide open. Also, memberships. Members always get their comments, questions, or rants up on the screen. So if you want your super chat up there, you know how to do that. But members obviously are supporting the channel. They do as well. So we appreciate all the support. Remember to like, follow, subscribe, all that good stuff. We appreciate everybody, man. Thank you for being in here. Let's get to it. So first things first, as we got other members coming in, Mr. S. Palmer, thank you, man. It was a good vacation. I appreciate it. It was a great vacation. These Steeler uniforms, ladies and gentlemen, I can't lie. I don't want to lie. I'm not going to lie. Could very well possibly be some of the ugliest uniforms in mankind. Let's just put it that way. Some of the ugliest uniforms known to mankind. Now, as my man Steelers Australia pointed out, it's just one game. And I get it. It is just one game. But it is disgusting. It is disgusting. Uh-oh. We got a new member. We appreciate you, Lawrence. Lawrence Holcomb. Thank you for supporting the channel. We appreciate you, and thank you very, very much. But yeah, man, it's just one day. I get it. But Lord have mercy, are they bad? Now we're playing against, and that's a good point, Somber. We're playing against the Packers, and I guess this is going to be a game where teams show up in their throwback uniforms, and so they're going to be just as ugly as ours. My thing is, why did people think that wearing, I don't know, khaki pants, the khaki colored pants back in the day, like why was that a thing? What was the fashion back then? I'm like, come on, man. Like, why was khaki color a thing? No matter what your jersey looked like on top, the khakis? Oh, Lord have mercy. Oh, new member, Mr. Rob Nash. We appreciate you, Rob Nash. Thank you for signing up and supporting the channel, man. Thank you very, very much, man. We absolutely appreciate you. But yeah, man, they're going to wear them for one game against the Packers. I'm just hoping that's the only game. Now, I will say this. In throwback uniforms, the Steelers are actually 4-2. So they've 6 times they've worn them. They're actually 4-2 in those games. So I don't know. I really don't think uniforms help you win football games. But I'm sure there's some people out there that are like, hey, man, we got a winning record. It's okay. Give me a strong defense and a good run game, and you can put me any running, any uniform that you want. That's my personal thought. You can put me out there in some turquoise color, give me a strong defense and a good run game, and I'll take my chances. But yeah, these uniforms, man, Lord have mercy. Here's my thing: is that I want an all like a matted all black uniform, or I said an all gold uniform. Give me an all gold uniform, but maybe a black helmet, all gold uniform, a black helmet, maybe black socks with black shoes, something of the nature. Give me something like that. But what is going? Like I said, I understand. This goes back to when the Steelers were started. I totally understand that. We're paying homage. I get it. Trust me, I get it. But it's ugly. And to sit here and act like it's not, um, I don't know. My man Steeler Lee says permanent block numbers. I mean, just look at it though. What are the prison stripes underneath the number and then the X? I'm like, why are we doing that? Like, who? Why would you think that is cool? I just don't understand. Oh my God, it's just whoa. Oh well, I don't know. I'm not the fashion police. I try not to be the fashion police. Y'all see the stuff that I wear, but Lord have mercy, man. I just mm, that's an ugly uniform, people. I don't care how they try to spruce it up. I don't care what they try to do. Does not look good. That just doesn't look good. Not to me. Not to me. Maybe there's some other people out there that like it, and I'm not trying to crush your dream. I'm not trying to, piss in your milk. I'm not doing that. But Lord have mercy. So CID said it reminds him of the movies the Steelers wore in the Batman movie. I mean, kinda. They don't look good. So So, and that's a good point, Sebastian. I'm not sure that they made him to look cool. I think back in the 30s. I mean, was it about comfort? I don't know. I don't know what they were thinking. But you're right. You're right. I don't believe at all that this is something that we were taught that they were looking at. They were just, hey, let's just put a uniform together and let's just see what it looks like. Let's just throw something out there and let's see what happens with it. Um, and yeah, Kevin Will, black pants. If they threw black pants on, it actually wouldn't be horrific. I mean, we could do away with the prison stripes and the X on the shirt, you know, but with black pants, it wouldn't be horrific. But you throw the khakis out there, and it's one of the most ridiculous things I think I've ever seen. I'll just be quite honest with you. I can't get past it. So, yes, Apex City, black on black would absolutely be fire. Um, but they weren't made fresh. You're right. You're right. Jordan left his didn't let his feelings known. He kind of hid behind it. He just said the jerseys are ass. Yeah, jerseys, pants, whatever. I don't know. That's just me though, people. That's just me. And I'm a uniform kind of guy. I like to see things look good, even though I try not to be the fashion police. I want things to look good. But like I said, if the Steelers come out and this is what they decide to wear, if the defense is strong and the running game is good, okay, whatever. I'll take my chances, man. I will take my chances. So we'll see. We'll see. But didn't want to get too much into that, man. Now, it's not something new, Danny Littlejohn. Comes back to something the Steelers wore in 1933. So as far as I'm concerned, they could just leave it in 1933. But I get it. Paying homage. I understand. Old school, you got to do a little something from time to time. Got to do a little something from time to time. So either way, we're going to move on, people. That is enough of the fashion police from Big B. I've had enough. I can't stand to look at it, more importantly. So let's move on. So Aaron Rodgers Let's talk about Aaron Rodgers a little bit. Aaron Rodgers just needs to come to Pittsburgh and play a little football, ladies and gentlemen. He just needs to show up and play football. You know, and I'll just take this back to the very beginning when all the rumors and everything started. If you know anything, you've been here a little bit of time, you know that I am one of the most least hypocritical people that you're going to meet. I'm going to tell you what I think, back it up with some facts from time to time. A lot of it's opinion too, and just tell you what I feel. And at the time when I first saw the rumors, I did not want Aaron Rodgers, not one bit. Didn't want him, didn't like him, understood that his year wasn't as bad as what people thought. I just didn't want him in the locker room. I didn't want him in Pittsburgh. Well, as it started to move on, and well, we signed Mason Rudolph, and I just knew at the time, I'm like, yeah, the Steelers aren't just going to let this slide with Mason Rudolph being the starter. They're not going to do that. Even though I talked about how he could win games, and I still believe he could win football games. I still believe that if Mason Rudolph was the quarterback, the Steelers could win anywhere between 8 and 10 games. They could. They could, maybe 10 strong, 8 to 9 games. I believe they could. I just didn't think that they were going to let that slide, and they didn't. And then they didn't draft the guy, and I'm like, well, they drafted Will Howard in the 6th round. I'm like, yeah, this Aaron Rodgers thing is real. So, sooner or later, if you back your team, you just got to get behind the inevitable, and that's what happened. And so he's here, and so what am I going to do? Root against that? No, I'm not. So you try to find ways to kind of rationale what he can do while he's here, and he's here. And the difference between, because a lot of people are comparing him to the 2 years with the Jets. I mean, I guess basically 1 year. This is the first year he got hurt 4 plays in. But my thing about it is that Aaron Rodgers doesn't have to be the savior of the franchise. Like the Jets were asking Aaron Rodgers to be their savior, just to come in, run everything on the offense, be the savior of the franchise. And he wasn't capable of doing that anymore. You know, it's not that he's a bad quarterback, but he's just capable of being the savior. Okay. But he's still capable of playing some decent football. And the Steelers are not going to ask him to be the savior. Like the Steelers don't need saving. That's number one, is that the Steelers don't need saving. You know, they need competent quarterback play. And competent quarterback play doesn't equal savior. Not in my book, and probably not a lot of your all's books either. You know, just asking for somebody competent, that's not asking you to be the savior. As Self-Made says, just look at the QBs we've had since Big Ben. Don't we make the playoff with those guys? End of story. Or didn't we make the playoffs with those guys? Yes, we did. And that's kind of been my whole thing all along. And I know people, they're going to argue and they're going to, and that's okay. We're supposed to go back and forth. We're not supposed to agree on everything. But if you're trying to tell me that if Aaron Rodgers played like he played last year with the Steelers last year, I think the Steelers win at least another game, maybe 2 more football games. Just give us that. And last year they would have won probably 2 more football games. And then what does the season look like? Well, number one, if we win 2 more games, we win the division. That's number one. So, you know, it's tricky. It's tricky. Does he need to play better to start the season than he did last year? Absolutely. He was a mess last year to start the year, but he ended up getting it together. So I like what he can bring to the table. But again, getting back to the point of just playing football, like Arthur Smith's a pretty strong-willed dude. You know, he's his own man. He's not going to allow Aaron Rodgers to come in and control him. I don't believe Mike Tomlin's going to allow that either. Now, I know the argument to that is we've seen Mike Tomlin get pretty loose in the locker room with certain guys, and he has. But it's never been the quarterback. You know, it was Ben, but Ben was out there performing. You know, but he hasn't been real loose with the quarterback. And Arthur Smith is never that way. He's never that guy. So if Aaron Rodgers can just come in and give us competent stuff, I like it. You know, they're going to run more of what an Arthur Smith offense actually is, you know. And if you really do the deep dive, I know people want to bash Arthur Smith for his entire time in Atlanta, but he was a bad head coach. Bad head coach. There's no question about that. But as an offensive coordinator, if the Steelers fans think that we had bad quarterback play the last couple of years, go look at his quarterback play was while he was there. Worse than ours. So, you know, that's the whole story behind that. My man Al Lewis, he says, I didn't like Tommy Maddox, but I cheered for him when he was our starter after Cordell. Go Rodgers. Exactly. So that's the difference, is that I get it. It's not ideal, but it's where we are. It's where we are. CID says the Jets were ass. That's the butt fumble franchise. Rodgers will do better here. There are adults in the room. Exactly. And that's all we need. That's all we need. So we just need adults in the room. We need just competent stuff. Competent stuff. And if we can get that, if we can get competent quarterback play, then the Steelers are going to be better. So it's like I said, the Steelers they don't need saving. We don't need you to come in here and be the superhero. That's not what the Steelers need. Now, if that comes that way and it comes along and he happens to be the superhero, I mean, we're not going to turn it down. You know what I'm saying? If he somehow turns back the clock 6 years and gives us that Aaron Rodgers, we're not going to turn that down. You know, we're just going to tip our cap and say thank you very much. I don't anticipate anything like that happening. We just need somebody that can get us in and out of the right play, throw the ball to guys where they're open, you know, have anticipation, use the entire football field. One thing that does bother me, people, I've gone back, I've done the work. Aaron Rodgers isn't I mean, he throws over the middle some, isn't as much as what I first anticipated. He didn't do that. Now, granted, it was way more than Baby Hands or Russell Wilson or Justin Fields. So he's throwing it over the middle way more than those guys. But it isn't like, oh, yeah, every fourth pass he's throwing it across the middle. No, that's not what he does. But in this offense, he's going to have to. And for it to be as effective as it can be, he's going to have to do that and trust those things. And I'm looking forward to it, to be honest with you. So I am looking forward to that a lot. So Digital says he's got to win the first game to start the season. I don't know if anybody was here. I did just a little town hall I got on earlier. But what I mentioned then, and I'll say it again now, is if the Steelers start the season 4-0, I am buying one of those ugly ass throwback jerseys. Yeah, you heard me say yes. Come on, Big B, you don't buy jerseys. No, I don't. But if the Steelers start the season 4-0, I will be buying one of those ugly throwback jerseys. That's how committed I am to you guys. I'm committed to you guys, and I'm committed to the cause. Again, for people that may not know, I've never bought a jersey in my life. Not one. Not one. That's what I do. But 2025 NFL football season, I've got two bets on the line to buy a jersey. One, if Aaron Rodgers starts and leads us to a victory in the playoffs. Two, if we start the season 4-0. So Felicia says that I am tripping. Big B passed the Thunderbird because you're tripping. Let's be realistic. Aaron is good, not great. I didn't say great. I mean, when did I say he was great? I don't think I ever said that. And even what I was just talking about, I don't think I ever said that he was great. What I said was, if he turns back the clock and gives us what he was 6 years ago, I will take it. But I'm not expecting that. And I'm not. Not at all. So CID says he'll join me, Big B. I'll buy the felon jersey with Roger's number. The felon jersey. So Mark Malone says he thinks we're going to start 3-0. Self-made says I'm hoping we have 3 jerseys. Is there a third jersey that I'm supposed to buy? Self-made that I don't remember. I don't remember. It's only 2. Only 2. At least I think. Y'all got to hold me to it. Y'all know that. But that's the whole thing. I just want them to come in and play some confident football. Just play football. No hero stuff. Doesn't have to be, hero ball. It doesn't have to be what the Jets were asking for. The Jets were asking him to do too much. And quite frankly, he just wasn't capable of doing that. Well, now just be a part of the system. Just be a part of what we're asking you to do. Get us in and out of the right play. Get the ball to the guys in space where they can make plays. Get it out on time. That's it. Nothing else. So Howard says we're better than last year. Then by far, I don't know if we're by far better than last year, but I definitely think that we're a better football team than what we were last year. Paper. On paper. Now, again, on paper doesn't mean a whole lot, but everybody, I try to explain that to people. Everybody is on paper right now. Everything is just on paper right now. Nobody's taken a snap. Nobody's done anything, So everything is strictly on paper at this point. And on paper, yes, the Steelers are better. They absolutely are better. But not only are they better, they're better at key spots, and the schedule isn't as tough. So for me, that's an opportunity. That's an opportunity. But we'll see. We'll see. Felicia says, well, I'm spotting one jersey for you. They win a few playoff games. Okay. So people are going to buy me some jerseys. Okay. Well, I appreciate that. Will Big G be back on the big Oh, man, I don't know. I have no clue. We'll find out. I'll find out tomorrow, but I'm not making any promises. We'll see what happens with Big G. I know he's doing better, but better doesn't necessarily mean ready to roll. But we'll see. So, Freddie Breestro, what's going on, man? Thanks for showing up. We appreciate you being here. So, but we'll find out, man. We will absolutely find out. Awesome, my man. Awesome Awareness says that the helmet is an A+, uniform is an F, and that's kind of how I feel about the uniform. It's like I like the helmet. I have no problems with the helmet, but the rest of the uniform is absolutely garbage. So I have a bunch of jerseys. I'll take it. I'm not buying a bunch. I can tell you that right now. I mean, I can't go from none, like, because somebody put in the chat once, well, come on, Big B, you should buy a jersey for every win we have this year. Come on, people. I'm 49 years old. I've never bought a jersey a day in my life. All of a sudden, I got to buy one for every win? Come on, man. First super chat of the day from my man STO. Hope Big G gets well. We need Steelers Unk back. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. So, yes, we do. And I appreciate this, Felicia. We expect all you guys tomorrow because you guys make this show possible. Well, I appreciate that. I appreciate that. So, but we'll see. We will see. My man's got to get the feeling better. That's more important in the show, to be honest with you. That is more important than the show. Rob Life, Big B, word in the street. Big G is ready and steady. Can we expect him tomorrow? Like I said, I'm not sure, man. I'm not sure. So, too much of the Steeleritis. I don't think it's the Steeleritis. but we'll see. Doubleback has a good point here. He said, I'm 52. I quit buying gear. Steel is in me, not on me. I mean, that's about right, ain't it? I mean, God touched us all to be Steeler fans. That's why this channel is called Steeler Almighty. It's because God touched us to be Steeler fans. It's a burden. God doesn't touch everybody to be Steeler fans. It's a burden being a Steeler fan. It's tough when God chooses you to do something. It's tough, but we make it happen. Make it happen. So Claude tormented him too much. Damn it, Claude. So DCTV says, Big B, which position groups is must-see TV? I got QB, O-line, corner, and running back. Are you talking about in camp or the season? Well, first off, this is a good segue to our next topic here, is 5 players that I'm watching closely in training camp this year. I'll give them to you, and I'll give them to you in my order, people. Top 5 of the 5 players that I am looking forward to. Starting at number 5. I'll go from 5 to 1. So at number 5 is Peyton Wilson. And it isn't because I think Peyton Wilson is in a position battle, because I don't think he is. The word on the street and what it looks like, Peyton Wilson has gotten bigger, better shape, and is going to be more physical. So I'm looking forward to seeing Peyton Wilson and how he handles himself in training camp and kind of solidifies him being a great football player. I'm looking forward to that because I've said it before. It's not that I don't think Patrick Queen needs to take a step forward, because he does. But just imagine him and Peyton Wilson being really, really good. When's the last time the Steelers had 2 middle backers, or inside backers, as they like to call them, that have been really good? It's been a minute. It has been a minute. And these guys can do that and pull that off. We got something, people. We got something. So Peyton Wilson is one of the guys that I'm looking forward to and watching in training camp this year. Next one, Jalen Ramsey. Too much chitter about Jalen Ramsey. I want to see what he has. I want to see what he got. Number one, I want to see where he's playing. I kind of want to see what they're doing with him. But I want to see what Jalen Ramsey has. You know, there's people out there 50-50 on the trade. I don't think that's the case. So I want to see what Jalen Ramsey still has in the tank. I still think he's got a lot. I don't think that he's the player that he was 4 or 5 years ago. I'm not saying that, but I still believe that he's got stuff to prove. So I am looking for Jalen Ramsey, not only how good he is, but how he can make everybody else good around him based on what he can do. That's what I really want to see. Jalen Ramsey. So Jason Young said Foot and Farrier the last time we had inside backers. Yeah. How long ago was that? Decade ago. Over a decade ago. That's what I'm saying, man. It's a minute. It has literally been a minute since we had 2 inside backers for that good. So William Treadwell says, any new safety coming in or what's going on with the wide receiver room? Man, nothing is happening right now. Nothing. So, and don't expect anything in the next couple of weeks unless somebody gets hurt. So nothing is happening there. They're going to see what they got for now. They didn't make any moves. They're going to see what they have before they make any moves anywhere. Something, now I know his 2024 tape was bad, but Juan Thornhill won a Super Bowl playing free safety. So just keep that in mind. Again, 2024, he wasn't good with Cleveland. You're not going to hear me tell you that, oh, this guy was pretty good. No, he wasn't. It was not good tape. But if he can get back to how he played, and maybe he suffered some, I don't know. Maybe it's Cleveland. Maybe just being in Cleveland got to him. You know what I'm saying? But he was never a Pro Bowler. He was just competent. If we can get back to competent safety play, I'll take it, especially with the kind of corners that we got. Next guy up, number 3 on the list as far as people that I'm watching in training camp, Caleb Johnson. Okay. At the time, I didn't think that he was the best running back the Steelers could have taken. Doesn't matter what I want. I'm not making the decisions. He's a Steeler now. And it wasn't that I didn't think he was good. I just wanted somebody else. Okay, he's with us. Let's get after it then. Let's go get this starting job. Now, I think Jaylen Warren's going to start the year, but I've been on record saying, hey, if Caleb Johnson can improve his pass protection and show that he can do it on a consistent basis and catch the football, he's an every down back. And Jaylen Warren can be the change of pace guy like he had. I think that's a better role for him. We've seen Jaylen Warren fumble when he gets tired, when he gets high usage. We can't have that. Not out of our lead back. Can't have it. So I think Caleb Johnson being that guy, I'm interested to see what he does. I want to see him. Backs versus backers, preseason. I want to see all of it because I think he's got potential. I really do, especially in the wide zone offense that Steelers want to run, that Arthur Smith loves to run, especially the play action off of it. But you can't have good play action if you can't run it first. So that is what I want to see. Let me take a look in the comments here. What do we got? CID says, but if we were to add someone tomorrow, I'd love Julian Blackmon. I mean, depending on the price tag, Julian Blackmon's not bad. I said him over Justin Simmons. So Felicia says, if I see Jaylen Warren's jerseys on the pro shop, so I'm guessing Jaylen is the man, and he's going to be running through the tunnel now. I mean, he'll be the starter initially. There ain't no doubt about that. He is definitely going to be the starter. But let's talk after week 8, and let's just see where we are. Let's see where we are. Al Lewis says, I love Caleb. I'm an Iowa fan as well as black and gold. There you go. There you go. Caleb Johnson also doesn't have the crazy, wear and tear or tread on his tires that a lot of college running backs have. So he doesn't have that. He doesn't have that. So we'll see. We'll see. Says, Awesome Elk says Warren will get more plays, but Caleb will get more carries. Makes sense. That makes sense. Some people may not understand that. It's basically saying that Warren's going to be out there, but that isn't necessarily he's going to be carrying the football. When Caleb Johnson's out there, he's going to carry the football more. Okay. I get it. So if y'all watch DK's Pittsburgh Sports, half these questions wouldn't be questions. Well, yeah, they would because I'm asking them, and you're here. So, and they're here asking. So lighten up, Captain Crunch. Lighten up. I hope it's 50-50 or maybe 60. Somewhere around there, I can live with that. Somewhere around there, I can live with that. So, nope, not going to watch them. I don't need to. Don't need to. Number 2 on the list, Roman Wilson. I need to see Roman Wilson. First of all, we just need to see Roman Wilson. We just need to see anything about Roman Wilson. So, let's see what he can do. Let's see what he can do. We didn't get to see any of it last year. We didn't get to see anything last year. Got hurt first day of pads last year. Got hurt again. Team didn't trust him. It's time to see what he can do. So he is a big, big question mark, because I think, and I'll be quite honest, I think the Steelers were counting on him last year. I think going into preseason, I think the Steelers were absolutely counting on him. But then he got hurt, and then he got hurt again. And hell, Mike Tomlin, in an interview, somebody asked him about him. He just basically said the train is on the tracks. We're moving on. Almost like he was pissed that the guy kept getting hurt, which, I mean, I guess not really blaming guys for getting hurt, but I get his frustration. It is frustration. So, self-believe, that's who they're banking on, and CA is the safety net. That's kind of what I think. I think they are waiting. I think they are waiting for Roman Wilson to take the lead there. So I think they are. I think they absolutely are. So I think they absolutely are. So Captain Crunch said beat writers in Pittsburgh 20 plus years reporting on all three teams. We don't all three teams. And they have a store downtown. Good for them, brother. Good for them. We don't need to watch somebody else. Can we not have our own channel, my man, and just ask the questions in here? Or do we have to? Because if that was the case, we could just watch them and we don't need to have one. It's okay for two different people to have two different opinions, brother. Okay? It's okay for that. So, no, it's not weird. It's not weird at all. You're here. We're glad you're here. Stay up with us. Appreciate you being here, too. Yeah, I just think Roman Wilson's got to have a big year. I think he's got to have a big year. So, CID's excited about it. So, I'm actually excited about Roman Wilson. So, he is a good blocker. He had to be a good blocker. And I think he had to be a good blocker, in Michigan to be able to get the football. So, exactly. Steelers Nation, Australia, exactly. I'm like, come on, man. So we're all just out here living in this space. We don't need to look at anybody else's channel. We're good. So how's it going, Big B? Hope the family is well. Caleb Johnson, so he's my guy out of the draft. I'm telling you, he's the next franchise back for us. I think so, too. I hope so. At least I hope so. But even still, I mean, you need two running backs in today's NFL. You just got to have two. You just got to have two. You can't have one. Whew, that went down wrong. Yeah, you can't have two, or you can't have one. You got to have two. So, got to have two. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. And the number one guy that I am looking forward to watching in training camp is Broderick Jones. Y'all knew that I was going to say that. Y'all already knew that I was going to say that. That Broderick Jones is the number one guy that I am looking forward to in training camp. I think he is the key to all of this. Granted, the offensive line as a whole is the key. So he is the key. But I think, I just think at left tackle, we've given him excuses. Well, I didn't give him excuses, but people have given him excuses over the years. Well, he's at right tackle. He's a left tackle. Oh, he was hurt, And I kept saying, and I know y'all get tired of hearing me say it, but I'm going to continue to say it because that's my thing. My dad taught me this a long time ago, and I'm never going to let it go. I understand being injured. You don't get your best. But that doesn't mean I have to get your worst. And I think a lot of games last year, we got the worst of Broderick Jones. A lot of games. So, and look, this is it for Broderick, too. Somebody pointed in the digital is talking about that BJ knows it's a prove-it year. Yeah, he does. I think he'll play better. We have to hope, And here's the thing, is that it's not that he can't do it, and because we've seen him play well. It's okay, what about the consistency? Maybe the professionalism of it all. Well, the first part of professionalism, as far as being an athlete, taking care of your body. Broderick Jones lost 15 pounds, saying, what? I need to be lighter. And it's better for me to go into camp and figure out, hey, I can always gain 10 to 15 pounds, but it's harder to lose it. So let me lose it in the off season and see what I look like. And if I need to put the weight back on, great, I'll put the weight back on. Well, there you go. That's the first part, ladies and gentlemen, is becoming more professional. Before anything else, he's saying, you know what? Let me see if being lighter on my feet, a little bit more quicker, a little bit more explosive. Let's see if that is a start to me playing well. So, and that, okay, we start there. then it's always the technique because his athleticism is always there. That's never gone away. Then let's get with the technique, you know, and then we'll go from there. We'll go. And he's also mean. You know, you got to have a mean, nasty streak. Well, we know Broderick's a mean, nasty football player when he wants to be. So we'll see. We'll see. TL Lofa or T Lofa. I'm sure I'm pronouncing it wrong, but I apologize. He said this is Broderick's final shot to prove the doubters wrong. Next year's draft will be interesting. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you're right. Because if Broderick don't do it this year, I expect the Steelers to go looking for a tackle. I'm not saying they're going to look for one in the first round, but it might be the second round. Who knows? Who knows? But expect it. So, but I just have a feeling he's going to play better. I just got a feeling, you know. And again, it's blind faith. Don't get me wrong, it's blind faith, but you see it. Lost some weight, shows focus, shows professionalism, understands, hey, I can always put it back on, but if I can become more explosive and become quicker by losing 15 pounds, okay, well, let's see what it looks like. As long as I don't lose any power, let's see what it looks like. Okay. So Rob Lightfoot says he sees Fautanu at right tackle or at left tackle because I do not see what Mike T sees in Jones. Well, I mean, Broderick Jones, I don't know what you mean by that, Rob Lightfoot, because Broderick Jones, his rookie year, played good. So that's what he sees in him. He's also never played his natural position in the National Football League. So that's another thing that he sees in him. So I'm not sure what you mean by I don't know what you see because he's got power, he's got strength, he's athletic. You know, there's a lot of things to see good in Broderick Jones. Last year was a step back. There ain't no doubt about that. But acting like he can't play football or hasn't shown anything, that's not true. He has. He got to get back to it though. There's no doubt about that. There's no doubt about that. So DC got a good question here. He says, whose development is more important, McCormick or Broderick Jones? I think Broderick Jones. And the reason being is you can find a right guard. You can find a right guard. It's tough finding a left tackle. You know what I'm saying? So it's to me, it's easily Broderick Jones. And that's not to say that right guard's not important. That isn't what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that it's just easier to find a right guard. Hell, they found McCormick in the 4th round. So you can find one of those. So you can find one of those. Right? Rob Lightfoot says he couldn't take away from Dan Moore. Injury, Dan Moore's refusal to move. That was part of Tomlin's fault. If you wanted Broderick Jones to play left tackle, you should have just put him at left tackle and said he's the left tackle and leave it at that. So, but they didn't do that. So, but you're right. If Broderick doesn't play well, the effing guy, if Broderick doesn't play well, our season is cooked. Yeah. I believe that. So, I absolutely believe it. Self-made gave me that he was injured stuff. Being injured that has nothing to do with your effort. That has nothing to do with your effort. And he didn't give effort. So there was too many plays where he didn't give the effort. So we got to see more. He just has to be better. That's all. He just has to be better. The whole season is about the O-line, period. Without them gelling and building chemistry, life's going to be tough for them moving forward. I mean, you can say that about every football team, but yeah, Steelers got to figure it out. So, That O-line, I just think, has an opportunity to be good. I think the offensive line has a real shot to be good. Now, again, that's a lot of hope on my part, and just saying it. I think I'm saying it more to try to will it into existence. But I just look at it like this, and follow me here. I'm just trying to be realistic about it. You know, Faitanu was basically the starter at right tackle last year. As soon as he was healthy, he was the starter. Okay. We didn't like Dan Moore. Dan Moore refused to even try to play right tackle. And so they needed Broderick to be the swing tackle. Ended up playing right. His natural position is left. If he can just play average, that's better than what Dan Moore gave us last year. So, okay. I'm guessing people think that Mason McCormick's going to be a better offensive lineman. I mean, it got pretty bad. He hit the rookie wall, and it got pretty bad near the end of the year before he ended up getting hurt. It got ugly. So I think he's going to be better. I think because he was thrust into a situation. I don't think there was any that he didn't expect. The Steelers didn't expect. I don't think a lot of people expected him to play. So he'll be better. We know Zach Frazier's already good. We know he's already good. I expect him to take a step forward. Now, the question mark, our man Isaac Siamala. He was out 4 games last year with the pec. I think he was hurt all year. And you could see it, especially in his pass protection, kept dropping his outside leg, and he knows better than that. He knows as a guard, you can't be dropping your outside leg. I mean, you're just inviting stunts to get home. I just don't think he was healthy all year. But again, my philosophy. That's fine to not give me your best, but you can't give me your worst. I expect Isaac to be healthy, and even if he's just healthy, doesn't that make you better? Even if he's 100%, that makes him better than what he was last year, which I don't think he was 100% all year. So if you just look at all of those factors, the line should be better. It should be better. So Mason McCormick, his hands are wild, his feet are wild, his entire technique is just wild. Just absolutely wild. But that's okay. That's okay. He can get guys are allowed to get better. There was somebody who came in and argued with me. It was about 6 weeks ago and just acted like, well, the guys can't get better. I'm like, huh? So how they played last year is exactly how to play this year. I'm like, man, we just no room to grow, huh? Like nobody can get better. It's just that was just wild. I'm like, look, man, everything's on paper at this point, but you expect a guy to get better from one year to the next, especially guys that are in their second and third year. You expect them to be better. I mean, if they're not, that's a problem. Tyrone says, you think we should just Justin Simmons and get wide receiver 2? I think we're good. I mean, whether we should or we shouldn't, the Steelers aren't going to do anything right now. So they're going to wait and see what they got in training camp. There's no reason to go out and sign somebody right now. You can wait. The Steelers can wait. And if they can get by without it, they'll get by without it. But if they need to, then you go do that. It's 2 things that I think. I believe that the Steelers think that Juan Thornhill will be just fine in the system that the Steelers run. Maybe a little different than what, Cleveland was asking them to do. So I believe that the Steelers are like, you know what? We're okay here with him. Okay, great. Then the next thing is they're banking. And maybe this is foolish, but they're banking on Roman Wilson being able to be the number 2 wide receiver. I think that's what they're doing. I think that is their goal. I thought it was their goal last year. I think it's their goal this year. Now, I'm not saying that's the smart move. I'm not saying that that's going to work. I'm just telling you what I believe the Steelers are hoping for. And quite frankly, to be honest with all you guys, we should all be hoping for that too. We should be hoping that Roman Wilson is that guy. That's what we should be hoping for. We shouldn't hope that we got to go get somebody else. We don't want that. We don't want that. We want him to be able to be the guy that can block on the edge, make tough catches, move the chains, be the second wide receiver. Oh, and by the way, if you sleep on him, he is a 4-3 guy. He can just run past you. So that's what the Steelers are hoping Wilson can be. And if he is, I like it. I like it. Jason said, who is the last first-round draft pick of the Steelers that got a fifth-year tender? Whew, man. It's been a minute. Man, I mean, a lot of that is Kevin Colbert just being absolute terrible at the end of his tenure. But it's been a minute. It has been a minute since that has happened. So, that's a good question. That is a real good question. I can't even remember. I mean, the Devin Bushes of the world. I mean, yeah, I can't remember. But we'll see. We'll see. Concept says, agree 100%. I'm going to see what Roman Wilson and CA can do this year. Yeah. No, it wasn't Terrell Edmonds didn't get one. TJ Watt, that might be. It's a long time ago, people. It's a long time ago. Bud? Yeah, Bud did. No. Yeah, Bud did get one, and then he left in free agency. Yeah, I think technically we did pick up Minka's fifth year, but then we just gave him an extension. So, but Minka wasn't a Steelers first round pick. I know we gave up one for him, but we didn't draft him. So I don't know if we want to count that or not. I guess we can. But the Steelers didn't draft him. Jordan says it's TJ Watt. I do agree. I tend to agree. So, but that's tough. That's tough sledding, ladies and gentlemen. That's how you know, Big G always hammers on Kevin Colbert, saying that Kevin Colbert was the problem for the Pittsburgh Steelers. He's the general manager that was making all these bad drafts and is why the roster ended up the way that it was. He's hammered that point since we Big Show. And he's not wrong. I don't agree 150% that it was all on him, but he had a lot to do with it. He had a lot to do with what that roster looked like, man. So, but we'll see. But those are the guys that I'm looking forward to. Peyton Wilson, Jalen Ramsey, Caleb Johnson, Roman Wilson, and Broderick Jones. In the chat, who are you, besides those five, put in there you guys are most likely want, or who you guys want to see the most out of in training camp? Who are you looking forward to seeing the most, I should say? Throw it in the chat. We'll start sounding them off on who the chat is looking forward to seeing. Beside anybody but those five. Anybody but those five. Because we got them covered. I'll be interested to see what you guys have to say. So, Jack. Harmon, yeah. Will Howard, Yaya Black, and McCormick, yeah. I want to see Yaya Black. Y.A. Black. Juan Thornhill, yep. JPJ, too. I almost put JPJ instead of Jalen Ramsey. I almost put him instead of Ramsey because I feel like JPJ is the key on defense. I think he's the key. So I think he has to be the key. And I just think he's the key. If he can get it down without all the holding and the grabbing If he can figure that out, that's who I like. Queen year 2 will be insane. He was awesome and underrated last year. I'm sorry, my man Concept. Patrick Queen was not awesome last year. He was not awesome. Don't be fooled by the number of tackles that he made. Don't be fooled by that. He was not awesome. Not in a long, and he admitted it. Hell, not only did he admit it, Deshaun Elliott came out and said it too, that he wasn't good. So Vincent, Arthur Smith is straight trash. I think in caps. You don't have to do that, brother. We understand. We can read. So we can read. Not Arthur Smith fan. I get it. But hopefully with better weapons, better quarterback play, he can prove a lot of people wrong. That's what I'm hoping for. Maybe, maybe not. Lawrence says he wants to see Jonnu Smith. I get that. I want to see Jonnu too. Hi, Smith. Yeah, Queen's got to do a lot better with tackling. He missed a ton of tackles last year. Ton of tackles, wasn't always in position in the pass game. Tom says he's looking for Cole Holcomb. I want to see what Holcomb can do too. But I'll be quite frank with you. I don't want to see Cole Holcomb starting. I don't want to see him starting. So, Rodgers is a shoot. Yes, he is. So, Keanu Benton, yeah. I'd love it if they move Keanu Benton, but they're not going to. At least it doesn't appear that they're going to move him positions. So, it doesn't appear. And you're right, Concept. If year 2 of having the green dot, communication issues, he's more comfortable with having the green dot and getting people lined up. I'm not saying he shouldn't be better. I'm just saying he wasn't great last year. He just wasn't. He just wasn't. I wish I could say something different, but I can't. I can't. So, DC will be watching all 4 quarters of every preseason game. So, just as a reminder, people, will be the preseason games will be streaming live. Now, that's not showing the actual games. We'll be doing it just like this. I'll be in my media room watching the games, talking to you guys as the game's going on. Every Pittsburgh Steeler preseason game. So make sure you keep that on the agenda. Preseason, we will be watching the games live, streaming them live, then talking about it afterwards. And that's another thing that we're going to do all season long for every Steeler game. We're going to be streaming live, watching the games together. We did it near the end of last year. We had a lot of fun with it. The only difference this year, it's going to be for members only during the regular season. So if you want to be able to stream live every game, watch it how I watch it, break it down while I'm breaking it down with you, having a ton of fun. Y'all mentioned it. We have a ton of fun in there. Sign up to become a member at the All-Pro level or higher, and you'll be able to see it. Actually, that's not even All-Pro. That's the Hall of Fame level at the top tier. So if you sign up to be a member at the top tier, you'll be able to get that. All 22 breakdowns. If you like the all 22 breakdowns, we do the entire game. Make sure you become a member there to be able to see that if you want to see that. A lot of good stuff going on there too. So Rob Lightfoot says he wants to see Sebastian Castro step up for a safety depth. I do too. Because if he can do that, then the Steelers don't have to go out and sign somebody. You know, if Thornhill and somebody else can step up, then we have to go sign somebody, which would be outstanding. That would be outstanding. Steel Mob says, so does Rodgers throw any of the coaches or players under the bus, you think? I think he's got more respect for Mike Tomlin than to do that. That's what I think. I don't think he respected Robert Saleh. So, and I know he didn't. I mean, everything that he said and how he acted, that he didn't respect him. But I believe that he has more respect for Mike Tomlin than to do that. But I'll tell you this, if he does, the Steelers just need to cut him. and move on. Because he's only going to be throwing somebody under the bus if things aren't going well. So if things aren't going well and he does that, the Steelers just need to cut bait and move on. Just move on. But honestly, I don't think that's going to happen. I just think he respects Mike Tomlin too much, and he just didn't respect anything about the Jets organization. He didn't respect anything about it. I think he got there, he got in there, he saw what was going on, and quite frankly, I thought Aaron Rodgers said to himself, "Holy shit, what did I get myself to? This organization is a disaster." And it is what it is. It is what it is. So we'll find out. But hey, man, that's all I got for you guys today, man. I appreciate everybody showing up tonight, man, and giving your all support. Big show tomorrow. Make sure everybody is there. 8 Eastern, 7 Central. I'm not sure if Big G will be back or not. Hopefully he is, but I'm just not sure. I'm not sure, and I wouldn't BS you. I'm just not sure. I would tell you if I knew. So make sure everybody shows up tomorrow. We're going to have a fun show either way. Can't wait to get there. Probably breaking down any camp battles and all that good stuff, talking about that tomorrow on the big show. Appreciate you guys. Remember, do me a favor. Once this video is over, go hit the like button and leave a comment, all that good stuff. We want as many people to be able to see this as possible. So appreciate you guys, man. Thank you guys for showing up. Thank you guys for sticking with me through my vacation. But I am back, and it is time to start talking Pittsburgh Steelers football, man. So I appreciate you guys, and aloha.